Africa, we cry for peace. Africa. Nisambuka tigi kayora, nisambuka tigi kayora, nisambuka tigi kayora, nisambuka tigi kayora. Tell me why you fight. Tell me why we fight. Tell me why you fight. Tell me why we fight. The land is good, the land is fine. Gold we have, diamonds we mine. Yet we fight, we covered it all in blood. Tell me why we wallow in the mud. Africa, 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 yeah. Mama Africa, we cry for peace. Africa. The land is good.
Greetings to one and all. You are welcome to
We have diamonds we mine. Yet we fight, we covered it all in blood. Tell me why.
Greetings to one and all. You are welcome to Wake Up Africa, live on Yard and Foreign Online Radio. My name is Jawais Man, and today is the 28th day of the month of May 2022.
Africa.
Wake Up Africa is a pan-African music and a talk show program, and on this program I use music from and across the continent of Africa to connect and unite with all black people, both continentally and globally, so that we can discuss issues and matters that affect the life and the livelihood of the people of Africa and black people. Wake Up Africa is also a social, political, economic, and a current affairs platform. On this platform, I use music to talk about social issues. I do economic and political discussions and also look at current affairs from natural and academic intellectualism, logical deductions, and commonsensical illustrations. You are listening to the People's Program, and you are watching the program of the masses with the People's Man, Jawais Man behind the console, aka the Ghetto MP. I am the Ghetto MP, the MP with the biggest and the largest constituency in Africa, which is the Street constituency.
Mama Africa, we cry for peace. Africa.
If you are watching and listening to me live and direct from Nigeria, from Uganda, from Malawi, Tanzania, from Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Liberia, Ethiopia, Egypt, Tunisia, from across the continent of Africa and all black communities globally, as I call a friend to tell a friend to connect and unite with us this and every Saturday live on Yard and Foreign Online Radio. This is where we gather to talk about Africa, to find solution for African problems. Egypt, Tunisia,
Tell me why you fight.
Africa and all black communities globally.
Tell me why we fight.
Today we are discussing the African Liberation Day. As I call a friend to tell a friend, today we are discussing the African Liberation Day, the Organization of African Unity versus African Union.
How good and how pleasant
You are listening to the voice of the voiceless, and you are listening to the defender of the defendless. I am the teacher of teachers, the lecturer of lecturers, and the professor of professors. I will open the phone lines exactly on 4:30 so that you can join the program to share your opinion, your comments, and also reason with me. My name is Jawais Man, aka the Ghetto MP.
Africa unite, 'cause we're moving right out of Babylon, and we're grooving to our father's land.
Greetings once again. You are welcome to Wake Up Africa. This is the People's Program, the program of the masses. And I said today we are discussing the African Liberation Day. The African Liberation Day. This day happened on the 25th day of May 2022, which was Wednesday. But today we are discussing it on Yard and Foreign Online Radio on the segment of the program known as Wake Up Africa. We are looking at this Liberation Day from the Organization of African Unity versus African Union. One upon a time, in the year 1963, some African countries across the continent of Africa came together under one umbrella, the Organization of African Unity, to think and discuss about the unity of African continent as one united Africa. This meeting, the Organization of African Unity meeting, was sanctioned by His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I of Ethiopia, and the meeting was organized by Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. Of African Unity meeting happened and united Africa at Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia. This day, the African Liberation Day, is a day set up for the annual commemoration of the founding fathers and the Organization of African Unity, which was given birth to on 25th day of the month of May 1963. This day is also a day celebration, and this day is celebrated across the continent of Africa and all black communities globally. The aim and the reasons for the establishment of the Organization of African Unity is to organize Africa and Africans under one united African state with one continental market to enable all Africans to trade among ourselves, and also with one African High Command for the protection of Africa and its people. This is the dream of Africa. This is the African dream, a dream that is reality and achievable, a dream that will make Africa and its people free from colonial boundaries and colonial exploitations. A dream that will improve the life and the livelihood of the people of Africa. A dream that is meant to protect Africa and its people from foreign aggression and evasions. This is the envisioned story of Africa by our forefathers. This is the image of Africa that we are still trying to achieve as a people. The question we have to ask ourselves is that what went wrong? What went wrong? And what is wrong with us? Our leaders who took the mantle of leadership from the founding fathers of the Organization of African Unity can be described as misleaders, because they were selfish and self-centered leaders. They were leaders who never thought of Africa and its people. They are leaders without conscience. They are leaders without the love for Africa and Africans. They were leaders and leaders we can describe as colonial conduits and colonial agents. These are misleaders who have allowed themselves to be used by the colonial masters and the colonial administration to undermine the dreams of the existence of the Organization of African Unity by changing the Organization of African Unity into African Union in the year 2022. The Convention of Organization of African Unity into African Union is the greatest mistake that we have done as a people and to ourselves as continent. How can Africa and Africans unite without an organization? When Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah told us that organization decides everything, because they don't want us to unite. So they have taken the organization out of the Organization of African Unity, and they also changed the name Unity into a union to make sure that we never unite as a people and as a continent, because the unity of Africa is against their selfish interest of exploitation of Africa resources, both natural and human. My brothers and my sisters, African Union can never unite Africa and Africans, because unions are established and set up for the purpose of doing business and not for the purpose of progress and development of the people of Africa. How can we unite if we don't have an organization that can break the chains of colonization and the shackles of imperialism that separate us with artificial bodies? How can we unite under a union when our brothers and our sisters, especially those in the North Africans, see themselves as more Arabs and Europeans than Africans? How can we unite ourselves under a union when Africans cannot even move freely among themselves? How can we unite continentally when we have a French-speaking African and English-speaking African? A union cannot do this unification for us, my African brothers and my African sisters. The European Union of the Europeans was established out of the idea of Organization of African Unity, because the Europeans has no problem with unity. A German is a German. It's in Africa that when you first mention your tribe before your country, so Africa has a problem of unity. They do not have a problem of unity. So they established the organization, they established the African Union for the purpose of what? Doing trade in their interest and the interest of their people. But Africa does not need African Union, because we still have a problem of unity. And that is the only thing that can help us to survive as a people. My brothers and my fellow Africans, brothers and sisters, the African Union can never unite us as one people with one aim, one destiny, and one personality. African can only progress and African can develop under a United States of Africa, because unity is strength and strength is power, and power bring progress and power bring development. The Organization of African Unity was formed and established as a liberation vehicle that will be used to significantly help Africa and African people to obtain economic, social, political, and cultural progress that will develop Africa for Africans both home and abroad. Today, the African dream, the African vision of Organization of African Unity has been cut down and reduced to a business venture for self-interest and profit making. Because business is all about profit without the interest of the owners at heart. How can a business venture facilitate the unity of African people? That is not a core mandate of business. How can a business venture, the African Union, achieve a continental freedom, peace, protection, and prosperity for the people of Africa that our founding fathers envisioned and dreamed for us? With all our resources and potentials, both natural and human, with young dynamic youth and very vibrant economy, which is being controlled with effective human capital, we are still the poorest continent and people in the global world. We are poor and the poorest today because our leaders and our misleaders have sold the organization that was established to unite us for economic prosperity in an exchange for a business venture, the African Union. Our leaders are still going around seeking for solutions for African problems, forgetting that they have sold and forgetting that what they have done against Africa and African people. When they changed the Organization of African Unity into African Union. The solution that they are looking for and going around to seek lies in the organization that they sold out because of their selfish interests. The solution they are seeking for lies in the corruptions that is going on when they are doing business with African resources, as you see, and they see as Africa as their business ventures. According to the World Bank and according to World Economic Statistics, Africans provide almost about 70 to 75% of resources to run the world. But Africans are the most poorest citizens of this global world. With all our resources, Africa is still depending on foreign aid, loans, and grants to take care of our citizens. Africa is still depending on foreign aid and grant to educate Africans. Africa is still depending on foreign loans to build health facilities for its people and citizens. Africa and Africans still depend on foreign aid to protect its citizens. How can we educate our people? How can we protect our people under a union? Where is the African High Command? Where is the African High Command? The one continental army that was dreamed for us by the founding fathers of Organization of African Unity, which is to constitute a continental army to protect Africa and its people. Can a union produce this for us? It's only the Organization of African Unity. How can we protect ourselves against foreign aggression and invasions when we are not united as a continent and as a people? How can Africa be poor with all these resources that we have as a people and as a continent. My fellow African brothers and sisters, African problems are not the problems that cannot be solved, but African problems are problems of leadership. And if it is about leadership, then what is it about? If our leaders love Africa, my brethren and my sisters, do you think Africa will be poor and Africa will be where it is today? No, because love is the foundation of progress and development. Another biggest problem of Africa and its people is that majority of African youth don't want to be responsible about Africa and African affairs. And if the youth begin to be responsible about Africa and the affairs of Africa, I can assure you that things will begin to change, because leadership has nothing to do with age, but leadership has everything to do with competence, capacity, and character. Therefore, the African youth need to be responsible in our relations to leadership and start to get ourselves involved in leadership positions to help develop Africa for the next generation. Africa is for Africans, and it is only Africans who can develop Africa. Libya is one of the founding members of the Organization of African Unity, and Libya is also one of the principal initiators and the proponents of the African Union. Had I known, it's always our last. When America invaded Libya, the African High Command was not there to go into their defense. So if Africa was united and this African High Command has been put together, won't we go in the defense of Libya when America invaded Libya? A practical example is Liberia, ECOMOG. The organization of the Economic State of West Africa, they put up together ECOMOG. And ECOMOG went to Liberia and make sure that a solution was brought in Liberia. And today, Liberia is a democratic state. This is the evidence that Africa has the capacity, Africa has the ability to protect itself and its own. If we're able to do it on regional bloc, then united an African state can defend any aggression and any invasion against Africa and its people. So the unity of Africa is paramount. The unity of Africa is the salvation to Africa and not African Union. Africa is not a businessman for you to use Africa for business. Africa is about humanity. It's about the unity of humanity. This is what African represent. So we need to go back to Organization of African Unity. Other than that, African problems cannot be solved. My brother and my sisters, you are listening to the Wake Up African program. We are coming to you live on Yard and Foreign Online Radio. My name is Jawais Man, aka the Ghetto MP.
How good and how pleasant it would be before God and man to see the unification of all Africans. Has it been said already?
This program comes your way every Saturday live on Yard and Foreign Online Radio. This is Wake Up Africa. This is where we educate to liberate. This is not where we judge to condemn. My brethren, my sister, call your friend, call your brother, call your papa to connect and unite with us live this and every Saturday for us to discuss Africa and find solution for African problems. So we are discussing the Liberation Day, the Organization of African Unity versus African Union.
Yeah, Africa unite, 'cause we're moving right out of Babylon, and we're grooving to our father's land. How good and how pleasant it would be.
You are listening to the voice of Jawaisman, aka the Ghetto MP. I want to thank you for connecting with us. We are still discussing the Organization of African Union versus Organization of African Unity. My fellow Africans and my fellow brothers and sisters, African unity is the way forward for Africans and not African Union. The time has come that Africa must stop expecting solutions from others for African problems, because only Africans and Africa can solve their problem, as our problem are caused and causes by us ourselves. Therefore, we are calling on African Parliament to begin to initiate a discussion that will help us to change the Organization of African Union back to the Organization of African Unity. Because it's under only a unity that African can protect its people. It is under an Organization of African Unity that African can educate its people from its own resources. Because it's under the Organization of African Unity that African can provide health care from its own resources, because Africa was it. Africa was it. We need no African Union, because Africa is not a business venture. Africa is a continent of united people for the progress of Africans. We are calling on our leaders to begin to rethink again, because this Organization of African Union was initiated by an idea which was facilitated through Muhammad Gaddafi and co. And today they were able to change the Organization of African Unity into African Union. So we are calling for our leaders who are patriotic Africans, who love Africans and have Africans in heart, to begin to initiate a process, a discussion in Africa and African Parliament across the African continent and all black communities in the world, so that we will begin to think again, or we begin to assess the Organization of African Unity and the African Union, to see that which of these will benefit us and which of these would align with the African dream, with the African vision, which is reliable and can be achieved if only we put ourselves together, our mind, our strength to work. We can achieve continental African unity. The time has come, and that time is today, and that time is now, that the Africans have set Agenda 63 or so for Africans. The world is projecting that Africa is going to have the youthful exuberance and a very genetic youth in the next 25 years going. What is Africa doing? What is the continent doing to make sure that we can build the skills, the capacity and the ability of this youth, which can be channeled to help us to progress and develop as a people? My brother, my sister, Africa can do it. The youth must get involved. It's a problem of Africans. We must come together in respect of what has gone, because when there is life, there is hope. My brother, my sister, my name is Jawaisman, aka the Ghetto MP. I am the MP for the people of the streets, and today we are discussing African Liberation Day. Africa unite! Africa unite! Africa unite! What are we waiting for?
Africa unite.
Bob Marley told us long time again
of Babylon.
Disobedient children.
We're going to our father's land.
We have nowhere to go than going back to our fathers and our mothers' land, my brethren, my sisters. If you're a black man, wherever you find yourself this afternoon, I am telling you that you are an African and you have to work and contribute towards the unite and the unification of black people in Africa. There is no way for us. The only way for Africa and the people of Africa is the organization of Africa Unity. You are listening to the voice of the voiceless. I am the defender of the defenseless. I am known as the teacher of teachers, the lecturer of lecturers. I am the professor of professor, the wise man, aka the ghetto MP. You can join the program on 020-164-3584 on WhatsApp call. You can also send your messages and they'll be read on the program. This is Wake Up Africa, the people's program, the program of the masses with a wise man.
Rasta man, yeah. Have since been said already. Let it be
You can also call us on 030-2266-524.
under the sun. We are the children of the Rasta man.
We are the children of Rastaman, we are the children of Africa, and we are coming together to unite Africa for the benefit of the people of Africa, both home and abroad.
Unite, Africa, unite.
Bob Marley then tell you already long time. What are you waiting for, disobedient children?
Unite for its greater than anything. Unite for the benefit of my children.
Unite for the benefit of the children of Africa. Unite for the benefit of the next generation. That shows that you love Africa. That shows that you are patriotic African. You are listening to Wake Up Africa. We come to your way every Saturday. This is on Yard and Foreign Online Radio. Big up yourself, Black Santino, the CEO of Yard and Foreign Online Radio. The phone lines are open and you can share your comments on our WhatsApp line on 020-164-3584. And you can also call our direct line on 030-2266-524 to share your opinions, to also comment on the program, and also reason with your wise man, aka the Ghetto MP.
Before God and man, yeah, to see the unification.
I want to use this wonderful day of celebration of African Liberation Day to boldly encourage us, inspire and argue us to begin to engage in a very fruitful and very active discussion that can bring the progress and the development for the people of Africa.
We are the children of God.
We are the children of Africa. We have to defend Africa. We have to fight for Africa. We have to make sure that Africa progress and Africa develop for our children and our grandchildren.
Yeah, Africa unite, 'cause we're moving right out of Babylon.
We are moving from Babylon. We are going back to our mother's land. Africa is the tropic, the most sweetest place in the world to be.
How good and how pleasant it would be before God and man.
How good, how pleasant, how beautiful, how unification it will be before the Almighty Jah to see all the children of Africa around one table.
It's been said already.
What are you waiting for, my brother and my sisters? What kind of conviction do you want to know and hear again?
Under the sun, we are the children of the Rasta man.
We are the children under the sun, my brother, my sister. We are not children under the moon.
Africa unite.
Africa must unite.
Africa unite.
Africa must unite.
Unite for the benefit of your people.
Unite for the benefit of Africa and humanity.
Unite for the benefit of your children.
We have to unite for the benefit of our children. You can join the program on our WhatsApp line 0201643584 and also on our normal line on 0302266525. Africa and Africans are no longer association of like-minded people. So what are we celebrating today? We are celebrating African Liberation Day. My brother, have you checked yourself? What are we celebrating? What are we celebrating?
And we're going to our father's land.
Are we celebrating food insecurity in Africa?
And the pleasant it would
You see, because we are not united, we cannot even take care of ourselves in terms of what we will eat.
to see the universe.
Then we say we are celebrating a liberation day. What kind of liberation are we celebrating, my brethren, my sisters of Africa?
Said already. Let it be done. Yeah.
Are we celebrating joblessness when the youth does not have job? Is that what we are celebrating as African Liberation Day? Hey, I beg to differ.
Africa unite, 'cause the children wanna go home. Yeah. Africa unite, 'cause we're moving right out of Babylon, and we're grooving to our father.
What are we celebrating as Africa and Africans on African Liberation Day? We are celebrating what? Insecurity, especially in West Africa. So we are celebrating what? Coup d'etats.
The unification of
And who tell you that if Africa was united, my brethren, my sister, as I've illustrated to you about ECOMOS, can somebody do coup in Africa that Africans will not come under African High Command to remove them?
who we are.
These are the evidence that African Organization of African Unity is what we need.
Of the Rasta man.
The phone lines are open. You can also call in if you think that we need Organization of African Unity, or you think the African Union is good for us, because this is African discussion and this is Wake Up Africa. This is the platform that we discuss about Africa. We talk about Africa to find solutions for African problems, and today we are discussing the liberation of the African Day, and I've put forth my discussion that we need the Organization of African Unity. If you think that we need the African Union, my brethren, my sister, fellow Africans, you can call me on 02016-435-84 and also on 030226652, so that we can reason this about to find one common center for the progress and the development of Africa.
Africa unite,
Unity Suite.
moving right out of Babylon, and we're going to our father's land. Yeah.
I don't know what we are celebrating today, so I'm waiting for your calls and your messages to share with me what you think that we are celebrating today as African Liberation Day.
All Africans, yeah. Has it been said already? Let it be done, yeah. We are the children of the Rasta man. We are the children of the Iron Man. Africa unite.
Celebration of African Unity Day, and this is what we are celebrating. We are discussing African Liberation Day.
'Cause we're moving right out of Babylon, and we're grooving to our father's land.
The program is Wake Up Africa. It comes your way every Saturday live on Yard and Foreign online radio right here in Accra, Ghana. Don't forget that Ghana is the capital city of Africa, the gateway to Africa, the star of Africa in West Africa.
The man, yeah. Has it been said already? Let it
You can also advertise your product and your programs on Yard and Foreign Online Radio. The only thing you have to do is to place a call to the CEO, Black Santino, and have a discussion with him, and your programs will be advertised on our programs and our programs.
We are the children of the I am.
You are listening and you are watching the biggest and the hottest Pan-African program online. This is Wake Up Africa with a wise man, aka the Ghetto MP. I am known as the teacher of teachers, the lecturer of lectures, and the professor of prophecies.
Unite for the benefit of my children. Unite for its later than Africa, await its creators. Africa, awaiting its creators. Africa, your life will fly us on a stone. Unite for the Africans tonight.
Bob Marley has told us long time that Africa has to unite, because unity is what we need to progress and develop as a people and as a continent.
Cause we're moving right out of Babylon, and we're going to
What do you know about the Casablancas and the Moravians? My brother, in the year 1963 in Addis Ababa, it wasn't easy.
to see the unified
One people, the same Africans,
Africa.
and one section of Africans opposing the unity of Africa. What a madness.
We are the children of
This can only happen in Africa.
the man. We are the children of
But don't forget that some people are very selfish and self-interest.
Africa. Unite.
And don't forget also that most African leaders are white people, they are schoolboys.
Africa. Unite.
And most of African leaders too are conduits and agents of colonialism.
We're grooving to our father's land.
So I was not surprised in the year 1963 at Addis Ababa, when we were discussing the unity of Africa, there was opposition.
Man, to see the unification.
What were they opposing?
Rasta man.
They were opposing the freedom of Africa.
As it's been said,
Were they opposing the security of Africa?
done.
Were they opposing the prosperity of Africa?
Under the
Do they really and truly know what they were opposing?
we are the children of
Or is it that they were just like a remote controls,
we are
which is being just tapped by somebody sitting behind?
I am man. So Africa unite.
Because I cannot understand the reason why you cannot love yourself.
Unite for the benefit of
And the word love is an action word because it must be demonstrated.
unite for the benefit of my children.
Your love can only be demonstrated to show how have you love Africa.
Africa, await its creator. Africa, awaiting its creator.
So is it the way we are going to leave Africa for the next generation? Do you ask yourself some of these questions? Oh, Africa. Hi. You can join the program on 02016 43548, and you can also call our online line on 03022665525.
How good and how pleasant it would be.
My brother, imagine how it could be good and how beautiful it would be that Africa is a united state.
And a fall.
Do you think that there will be need for the youth to be traveling outside Africa to go and seek for their betterment of life?
Let it be done. Yeah. We are the children.
So why can't we develop Africa for our people, so that we can stop the youth from traveling and risking their life?
I am man.
What and what does it take to develop Africa?
Cause the children wanna go.
Is it resources?
Africa
Is it money?
'Cause we're moving right out of Babylon.
Is it human capital?
And we're grooving to our Father.
Because we have all this too,
Yeah.
but we are still not developing.
And how pleasant it would be.
So what do we need as Africans to develop?
See the unification of all Rastaman.
What we need is leadership.
Ready?
Because we have seen it before
I tell you,
when a certain personalities were leading Africa.
hear the song. We are the children of
So we can do it.
the man. We are the children
It's all about
of the man. So
coming together.
unite,
Our unity is our salvation.
unite, yeah. Unite for the benefit of your people.
Let's unite because of our people. Let's unite for the benefit of our children.
My children,
Let's unite for the benefit of the next generation.
Africa, await its creators.
Our children, this is Wake Up Africa. We come your way every Saturday live on Yard and Foreign online radio. This is where we discuss Africa. This is where we talk about Africa to find solution for African problems. My brother, my sister, you can call in the program on 030-2266-524 to also share your opinion, to discuss what you have with us on this day of African Liberation Day. We are discussing the Organization of African Unity against African Union. Which of these two, or which of one of these two can help us to achieve our visions and the African dream?
Unification of all Africans. Yeah. Has it been said already? Let it be done. Yeah. We are the children of the Rastaman. We are the children of the Iron Man.
This is where we discuss social issues, we talk about politics, and we discuss economic issues. But we do all this discussion from African perspective, based on natural and academic intellectualism, logical deductions, and commonsensical illustrations to bring understanding to our listeners and our viewers.
How good and how pleasant it would be.
Big up yourself wherever you are watching and listening to me from. I want you to know that this is Wake Up Africa, and we come your way every Saturday from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. Ghanaian time.
Been said already. Let it be done.
Call a friend to also connect and unite with us, because this platform is for the people of Africa. This is where we discuss Africa. This is where we discuss to elevate the people of Africa. And we are not here to judge, and we are not here to crucify.
Iron Man. So, Africa, unite.
The richest continent with the poorest people on the continent.
Unite for the benefit of your people. Unite for greater than anything.
We have almost about 10 minutes to go. You can also share your comments, and you can call us on 030-2266-524.
Await its creators. Africa, await its creators. Africa, unite for fire on the soul. Unite for the Africans. Stay aboard, yeah, yeah, papa, yeah, papa. Africa, unite. 'Cause we're moving
Come on, man,
right
stop it
out
now.
of Babylon. And we're going to our father's land. Yeah. How good and
I'm going for a quick commercial break, and I'll be back with you. Stay on.
God and man, yeah. To see the unification of all
Rasking, tell the people how to get the right thing. Yeah. Oh Lord, Rasking.
Rasking Organic Natural Rolling Papers. First 70 leaves king size slim brown. And first 75 leaves extra large brown worldwide. Rasking, the way to roll. Boomless. Our online shop is www.raskingventures.com. Sales Africa, Ghana. Contact us on 00233 544606 766. UK, rest of the world, 0044 7400 73353 or 0044 7792 546468. Facebook, Rasking Ventures. Twitter, @RaskingV. Instagram, Rasking Ventures. Boomless.
Rasking, tell the people how.
We are the children of the Rastaman.
You are welcome back, and we thank you for being with us. This is Wake Up Africa, the program of the masses and the people's program. This program comes your way every Saturday live on Yard and Foreign online radio from the hours of 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Ghanaian time. And this is where we discuss Africa. We talk about Africa to find solutions for African problems. Call your brethren, call your sister, call your mama, and ask them to connect and unite with us. So together we can discuss about Africa to find solutions on African problems. You can join us on our WhatsApp number 020-164-3584. 020-164-3584, so that you can share your opinion, you can share your thoughts, and also reason with us to enrich the program.
I tell you who we are under the sun. We are the children of the Rastaman. We are the children.
It is all about the organization of African unity versus African union. Which of this one will help us to succeed the dreams that our forefathers have envisioned for us as a people of Africa?
Your people unite for its later than anything. Unite for the benefit of your children. Unite for its later than anything. Africa, await its creators. Africa, await its creators. Africa, your life for
As I question them, I say, what are we celebrating right here in Africa on African Liberation Day? Are we celebrating coup d'etats? Are we celebrating food insecurity? Are we celebrating mediocrity? Or are we celebrating the progress and the development of the people of Africa?
Africa, unite. Cause we're moving right out of Babylon. And we're going to our
Come, let's rally around the flag of Africa. Come, let's join our capacity and our ability together to make sure that we unite Africa for the benefit of our children and the benefit of the next generation.
unification of all.
That is the biggest solution for African problems. This is the African dream,
Already, let it be done. Yeah.
a beautiful dream for a beautiful and a wonderful people.
Rastaman.
Don't be a colonial African and never be an agent of colonial against your own self.
Africa, unite. Cause the children
It doesn't matter wherever you are. When we talk about Africa, it is all about you. And you must use your love to protect Africa for the people of Africa. Because the people of Africa are your people. To protect Africa is to protect your own children.
and a pleasant day.
To protect the future of Africa is to protect the future of your children.
To see the unification.
So we have no excuse
Rastaman
to separate ourselves
has since been said.
because of colonial boundaries.
Let it be done. I tell you who we are
Africa is for Africans both home and abroad.
The children of the
My name is Joe Weissman once again, and this is Wake Up Africa, which comes your way every Saturday. And this is another edition of Wake Up Africa. If you don't hear my voice again, I say I want to thank you very much for spending time with me on Yard and Foreign Online Radio to listen to the African Liberation Lectures. My brother, my sister, next week let's meet the same time on Yard and Foreign Online Radio as I come your way with another edition of Wake Up Africa. It's all about the unity of Africa. So carry the message to each and everyone. Tell them that Africa needs to unite. Africa doesn't need the African Union. Africa needs an organization of African unity. Without an organization, we can never organize ourselves. And if we cannot organize ourselves, we can never unite. So let's begin to think about organization, how to organize Africa for the benefit of Africa and its people.
moving right out of Babylon.
The unity of Africa is the right movement for the people of Africa. Wake up Africa, wake up Africa, wake up Africa, 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 I will wake up you.